Welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast with author Sarah F. Hathaway and co-host Chen Gibson. Blending survival, fiction, and fact to bring you entertaining education that will help you dream, survive, and thrive. And now, here's your host, Sarah F. Hathaway and Chen Gibson.
Chapter 58. Cole waited for evening to fall before seeking out Sergeant Bennett. The refugee curfew had come and gone, but the streets were filled with activity. The landowners attended shows and danced long into the night. Cole slunk through the streets trying to stay incognito. He knew Bennett would be at the training warehouse still. Waiting in the dark by the corner of the building, he listened to a young man trying to seduce a young landowner woman. The young lady won the argument and the man agreed to take her home. Cole's attention was drawn to the sound of the warehouse door opening, and Bennett walked out alone. Silently sneaking up behind him, Cole whispered, "Psst." Bennett whipped around, ready to fight, but recognized Cole's face in the faint light. "Damn, Virgis, you can't sneak up in the dark like that. You're going to get yourself shot." Cole told him quietly, "I'm leaving in the morning, and we have to talk." "Let's go get a drink," Bennett suggested. "I don't know that we should be seen together," Cole informed him. "What do we need to talk about?" Bennett asked curiously. "Erica." "What about her?" "The Mercs gave me permission to use my resources to get her out of here," Cole informed him. Not understanding the complication, Bennett said, "Then take her legally. She's a refugee." "She's not," Cole enlightened him. Bennett chuckled at his comment. "Are we talking about the same Erica?" "The lone survivor," Cole clarified. Bennett looked unsure. "But how do you know?" General McClintock cross-referenced the federal databases. "She's not hard to track. She's been here for 9 years. Why didn't anyone?" "Her children." Bennett stumbled over his words, looking at Cole with wide eyes. "Landowner children. Do you know what a mistake like that would do to a FEMA director's career? The board would strip his authority and throw him in with the refugees." "And how would a FEMA director avoid that?" Cole asked. With a confident voice, Bennett explained, "He would give Daniel permission to go out on a mission and then send them on a solo mission where they could be disposed of quietly." Cole chuckled nervously at Bennett's comment. "That's pretty specific, but he'd probably do something like that." "He just did that a couple of days ago. I took the uniform to Daniel as his birthday present." Understanding that they were already out of time, Cole noted, "Then the wheels are already in motion. She can't go out on that mission. The resistance needs her, especially without William. She can lead the people to freedom." Bennett looked concerned. "That's a tall order for one little lady." "She can do it. You know she can." "Oh, she can do it, but it will be a hard road ahead. I love that woman like a sister." "It's a lot to ask," Bennett admitted. "The alternative is civil war," Cole told him flatly. "Honestly, Merc Command is already discussing it." "Damn," Bennett commented, looking at the ground. He kicked some sand around with the toe of his boot. "We're going to get Cassidy out simultaneously," Cole informed him. "And why are you telling me all this?" Bennett wondered. "You've trained Erica. You know she is the one we need to peacefully restore this country. Somehow we need them in the same place. We'll only get one shot at this. Will you help us?" Cole requested. Bennett needed little time to think. "I'm not willing to help use her as a pawn, but I am willing to get her family out of here so Matthew doesn't kill them. That's all I'm asking," Cole responded. "Well, I would ask one more thing, but I bet you'd say no." "What's that?" Bennett wondered. "Come with us, Patrick. Join the Mercs," Cole offered. Bennett shook his head negatively. "I can't, Cole. Someone has to be here to help stop the corrupt slave trade and keep tabs on the feds." "The invitation stands if you change your mind. I've got to get back. Staff Sergeant Bingham will know the plans. Coordinate your move with him." "Will do," Bennett responded as he walked away, lost in thought. Cole left in the twilight of the night, headed for Reno. They arrived home early in the morning, and Johnny was waiting when he got there. "How did it go, Major?" Johnny wondered. "Hands down, one of the worst things I've ever had to do," Cole admitted sadly. And Monroe messed Chappie up pretty good. I would have too, Johnny agreed. Cole laughed. I didn't say I blamed him. Did you get to see Cassidy, Johnny wondered. No, it would have been too obvious, Cole admitted sadly. Bingham and Bennett are on the same page and coordinating with Chappie. Chappie's trying to get word to King and Rydell. They came in with you from Peach Springs, right? How come they weren't adopted out? There's only so many landowners. Not all the refugees can get adopted out. I guess that makes sense, Johnny admitted. Does it? Cole asked. Because none of it should. Johnny laughed at his joke. I'm going to get some sleep. It was a long night, Cole told him. But Johnny. Yes, sir, Johnny responded, making eye contact with him. Make sure you and Jessup stay ready to leave, Cole informed him. Will do, sir, Johnny said before exiting through the door. Hello, and welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast. This is episode number 464, season 15, episode 58. Hey, Chin, what's up?
Chin's up, y'all. Can you hear me now?
Chin's in the house. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, talk again, because it might be my end of the technology now that's going to screw up.
Oh, nice. I jinxed us.
Yeah, you did. Okay, hold on one second. I got to go back to my notes. Yeah, we will be clipping this out of the record.
No, this is the good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, what is it? I don't know how this thing gets changed.
We were just talking.
I know. Well, it's going out. What's going out live to the PBN crowd?
Oh, that's what changed.
Yeah.
Blame it on the PBN.
Yeah, I'm blaming it.
He's in the green room.
Yeah, there we go.
He's in there pushing buttons on us.
Now the crowd can hear you.
Hey, y'all.
And we also have Ellen in the house tonight. Hey, Ellen, what's going on?
Hey, g'day. Oh, how are you?
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
In the house.
Yep.
Right next to Sarah.
Yep. We got the double mics going. We had to upgrade for Family Feud. We had a lot of us in here, so the Changing Earth studio received a little update. Okay, if you guys are out in the live room, please let me know if the sound sounds good. I think I have everything working proper now. Should be good to go. Alrighty, so news on the docket. Well, the big news, why Ellen is into town this time of year, is Prepper Camp 2024. We're on the doorstep. Tickets are sold out. Campsites sold out. Every Airbnb within 100 miles probably sold out. So if you're just getting arrangements for where you're going to stay, it's probably going to be in your vehicle in the parking area. So, but we got to see the schedule. It looks phenomenal. Chin is having technical problems tonight, so he's not DJing the chat room, or else he'd be like...
I'm not going to be able to put in those web notes, the links.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, Chin, throw that up so they can see the schedule. But the schedule is out. You just go to preppercamp.com, check out all the cool classes, and start printing out your schedules so you know exactly what you want to go to. Alrighty, other happenings. The audio drama episode 8 is going live this week, so that's the next chunk of audio drama episodes 5 to 8. So we'll have to see where it ends up. The members already know where it's going to end up. They've had that for a week. So if you want to become a member, just head on over to changingearthseries.com. Become a member. Really appreciate you helping the Changing Earth world go round, everybody. Alrighty, so Virgis, we're almost to the end. And given that Prepper Camp happens not next weekend, but the weekend after, we won't have a show. So my suggestion at the beginning in the green room there was that we just do 2 chapters next week so we can finish off Virgis before we head out for Prepper Camp. And I think that's a solid idea. I think we'll just do that.
It's your idea.
Yeah, I
come up with the best ideas.
I'll just pat myself on the back a little bit. That was great. That was a great idea. So usually my last chapters of my books are like a couple paragraphs anyway. So we'll just do it that way. That way we're on a new material when we get back. And what we're going to do, my thought is that we go through season 3 of the audio drama and pick out a bunch of cool survival information from it. And we'll just do shows based off that info. Because there's a lot of really great nuggets that I threw in there. I should have like a little... You know how they do those shows that are like, you watch it and it tells you all about the shooting of it, like what happened during the filming. Yeah, yes. Right? So I want to have like a little, survival tip. You know?
Oh, yeah, the little pop-ups.
Yeah.
Like you're watching a movie and they have the little pop-ups. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that in an audio drama. We'll have to figure that one out. It's going to get kind of annoying. But last week, Virgis met with Alex to set up the plan. This week, he met with Bennett. And then he returns home to Reno, hoping that everything's just going to go smoothly. And they're going to be able to break Erica and Cassidy out of the camp in one foul swoop. So we'll have to see how that goes for them next week. But today, given that we have Ellen in the house, I wanted to do a little conversation on the future of surveillance technology. Now, guys, I am a woodlands girl. I enjoy hunting and fishing and shooting, and technology is more Chin's realm.
Not tonight.
Right? I know, the tech guy. Then it is mine. So we're going to walk through this and just talk about a lot of the concepts that have to go with the technology. And obviously they weren't using any of the surveillance technology on our former president today.
Holy crow.
Yeah. I want to take a minute and just say a prayer for Mr. Donald Trump that he, keeps being blessed by the Lord and can do good things for our country. So let's just say that little prayer for him. Alrighty. So surveillance technology, current state of affairs. Ellen, why don't you tell us a little bit about how it was to travel in today's surveillance-heavy world now?
Yeah, sure. It was definitely a journey. So I departed from Canberra Airport, which is one of our regional airports, close to where we live. 55-minute flight from there to Sydney, and then I've gone through all security and everything like that at Canberra Airport, and then I have to do it again in Sydney. So I get out of domestic airport and stay within the secure area, get the bus over to international airport, and go through security again. Then they go through and look at my passport, all that sort of stuff. And then for the US, you have to actually say, so the security guards, not customs, well, security guards will come around and actually ask, well, what's your purpose in America? Why are you going? All this other stuff.
Prepper camp.
Yeah, prepper camp. No, I just say I'm going to visit my sister.
Oh, whoa.
Go visit my sister, so they be there for almost 3 weeks. Okay, no worries. You know where you are. And mind you, I've already filled this all out in the visa application. So the online ESTA, we don't have to go the full visa. We just have an arrangement between governments. So it's like an online form. Cost me $14 US or whatever it is. So that's all of that is in the ESTA already.
It's already pre-done before you even get to an airport.
Yeah. It's got to be done and paid for before you get to the airport. So I did all that. Anyway, had to go through security again at Sydney Airport. Then get my passport goes in. You put it in the reader, and it will scan it. Then you get a photo.
Get stamps anymore.
Don't get stamps
You know
anymore.
how it was like cool? Like I traveled to these places. No, you don't get the stamps anymore.
Yeah. Goes in a reader. Of course, they all come with like a smart card in them now, in the passports. And then they read that, and then you get a photo taken. So no glasses, no hat, no nothing. Just your photo is taken. Then you can cross over into the departure area. So
into the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And then you're in the secure area. But I was already in the secure area. So
stayed in the secure area.
Yeah.
It's not like you
do it again.
Do it again.
So that was all that. Answer all those questions, and then arrive in Dallas, and then get there, and then luckily the arrival hall wasn't as busy as it was last time, so I got through pretty quickly. And same again. scan the passports, take photos. They already had my fingerprints from last time, so they didn't have to do that again. But ask the same questions.
Fingerprints, even.
Yeah, they took fingerprints last time. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you put your hand over on the scanner. Yeah, and then you can go through, and then I had to go through there, out into the ether, go around. So still within the secure zone, but go through security again. So 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah. And you get sniffed by the sniffer dogs and all that sort of stuff.
This is just for a visit. Like, if you were coming to live here illegally, I'm sure it would have been a much easier process.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Just wade through the waters at Eagle Pass and get over.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Oh. So, yeah, that's where we are now. I know that, like, my martial arts instructor went to Taiwan. When he came through China, when he walked up to the desk, they already knew who he was. Hello, his last name. Come on up.
Oh, see how easy that was?
Yeah.
It's like way easier.
Because they're just facial recognitioning, right? Boom, 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 boom. Now, I did see this really trippy mask last night that, like, it's like $1,000 mask. And it was crazy. You put it on and you just look like somebody completely different. So, like, humans always...
like Mission Impossible.
Right? But that one was $1,000. People have a lot more money than that to spend. Governments have a lot more money than that to spend. I mean, that wasn't just insane to me to see that. So, but what my thought was when I saw this was, you see, people will always find a way, right? The technology will get better, but people just always keep thinking around this stuff.
So I wonder, Ellen, is that only coming into the United States, or do you know if that's the same process for any international flight?
I can't remember what it was like last time.
Like, have you ever flown into a different country before you came to the U.S.?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
No, I haven't done it, and I don't know what that process would be.
And you're always out on ship when you are going to different countries.
So
they
did ask if I was transiting through the US.
Oh, okay.
If I was going to transit, and but that wasn't. I didn't answer yes, so I didn't.
That's one of the things that I've heard about the illegals is that they're saying like it's like a short term stay, but then they end up just.
Oh
staying.
yeah, you should have downloaded that app.
Yeah.
What's that app?
You could have got like the
people
EBD card or whatever, right? You could have had endless
made it
money.
way easier.
I have commitments in Australia.
You could have left the card with me, dude. I would have taken
with
it.
Friends like us giving you helpful comments,
Yes.
helpful tips.
Okay, we're not leading Ellen astray. Chin.
I just applied for a new job, so I'm getting out of the military and can work as a screw in Tasmania. So hopefully I get that.
Got our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So for better or worse, this technology. So I always fall back to Ben Franklin. I can't help it every single time. And it's like when you give up your liberty for security, that's when you don't get either. Yep. You don't have freedom. You don't have liberty. You have nothing left. And I understand, like, yeah, it's risky. It's risky to be free. It's dangerous. You have to actually have faith in other human beings and allow them to make their own choices. And guess what? They might make the wrong ones and have to pay consequences for that. But that's what it's all about. You're going to hear offensive things. You're going to hear things that you don't agree with.
Move on. Scroll on. Move on.
Right? You're going to wake up in the morning with leprosy because you got exposed to a different, idea than what you agree with. So, of course, I'm going to fall that way. I do understand, like, for example, the Ring cameras. I would never put one on my door because I don't want there to be a network of surveillance technology. I think that it's really scary.
Yeah, but go next time you drive or walk up and down your community, look at how many of those there are.
Have them already, right? Where they can make this network of like.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, how to track people, how to track vehicles. They can just access these cameras along the way. They give insurance discounts for them. So they're
I
incentivized.
had one. Well, I had one in the front, one in the back when I lived in Charleston, and
Right.
there was some break-ins, and the cops actually came to everybody's door and asked if we
For their
noticed anything.
cameras.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
And-
they said, could you check during these times on these days, and then the camera would let you send video. Like I could
Send them a clip of what it was.
Yeah, I could email them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they took the camera. But
Right.
when
Or
I
like
moved,
took all your video.
when I moved into the mountains, I'm like, that ain't coming with me.
No. And I do understand like the reasoning behind say you're 80 years old and you really need to know who's at that door before you open it, there's all kinds of I can understand.
It's like there's so much good, right? All this technology, there's so much good that can be done with it until some goofball decides to corrupt it and do bad things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like that whole smart homes and stuff where you walk in and the lights come on and the temperature adjusts the way you want it and the shades go up or down. That's like awesome, right? Until they start watching your patterns and they're like, well, you're supposed to be at work and you're coming home at this time, or
right? Yeah.
They monitor everything.
The shutdowns in the cars. They want every car to have a kill switch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's great. If somebody's like drinking or driving, I totally understand like the excuse behind that. But what's to stop them from saying, well, you're not allowed to travel outside of your travel zone? Boom, your car doesn't work.
Or shut down your whole house.
Yeah.
No power.
You've
No
already
water.
used too much this year.
Yeah.
You've already used too much.
So, they're starting to put smart meters in the houses in Australia where they can turn around and turn the power off when when the grid's under pressure.
Yep.
So, it's scary. Like, what if someone's on a CPAP machine or
Ventilator.
I've got my husband does fish. He keeps aquarium fish. Get the power turned off. We've lost thousands of dollars worth of fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then you got to invest in the Jenny, all that stuff.
Which I've already got. But, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to... That generator's not going to power what we have.
No. And for long term, and then, is it natural gas or something, and then they can control that, or,
And the more that generations are used to already being surveilled, that's normal. That's just what normally happens. Out here in Texas, they're not allowed to use the street cameras, to like take your picture if you run a red light.
Oh, yeah.
They don't allow that out here. I love that because, they're not like constantly, it's still a free place to live, So of course there'd be some people that decide to blow the red light and, take that risk and everything. But what kind of, when you put those street lights on and now everybody's under the gun and you're being watched all the time, what does that do even to the human psyche?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you as well, when you do self-checkout at supermarkets, you get video. When you go through drive-thrus like McDonald's, they're videotaping you. Like there's a camera right on you when you go up to the screen. It's just, where will it end?
Yeah. The ATMs, of course, have been that way for a long time because for your protection. So everything, like you say, Chad, right? Oh, we're going to keep you safe. And
sounds good at first, but then what they do with all that data
where
down
could
the
it
road?
go?
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that I really clung to when I heard this was the tech companies. They have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. So if they're developing this surveillance technology, they have a responsibility to sell their product so they can make their shareholders money. And
what is their product?
Exactly. It's a restraint of your freedom is their product. And so they have the responsibility to sell this. So they have to make it attractive to Americans in general. And then there was a conversation about how far China is in their surveillance technology and how if we're going to keep up with technology to technology, we have to just start deploying this stuff in the United States.
We've got mobile phone detectors now, red light cameras, speeding cameras. What else we got? Just community cameras in like hot zones, like places where
popular
there's a lot,
sidewalks, that kind of thing.
And then we haven't even talked about the cash yet. So like I have to, for my job, I have to go through rigmaroles of having a security clearance and all that sort of stuff. If I go out and get cash continually from one place, and it happens to be within an ATM within a bar, that's the closest one to where I live, they will see that and say, no, you're spending your money on gambling because you can't prove where you've used that money because you've taken cash out instead of using your card. And now it's actually making it very, very hard to use cash in Australia because, one, the supermarkets don't hardly hold it anymore. There is very, very little. They're taking away the ATMs. They're slowly downgrading. The physical bank locations are closing, and basically forcing us to use our cards. Yep. And it's scary. There's a big pushback at the moment for it. People are saying cash out day, pay for cash only. Lots of businesses are now going card only instead of cash. Yeah. It's
remember being young, it was so cool to have a credit card. It was so easy. You didn't have to worry about, I was going to go out and if it costs $20, I better have, $25 in my pocket to make sure I could, if you had a card, well, you could just whatever. You could just run the card. We're good, whatever. Right. But they suckered you into it. They made it simple. They made it easy.
Yeah. And additionally to that, so what they actually got us with, and what we're struggling with, is what they call afterpay. And I think they've got a version of it in here in the US as well. So it's basically like take-home lay-by. So you go in, or layaway, you call it. So you go in and you just say what you want to buy, and you've got the app on your phone, and say, I've got this product is $500. You go and scan that. You don't pay anything up front. You can take the product, but it gets taken out of your account then fortnight later. So it's split into 4 payments.
Interesting. They just automatically do that for you.
Yeah.
Crazy. And is there a fee for that, of course?
There is a fee. They actually charge the retailers for it. It doesn't charge. They don't charge the consumer anything for it. But yeah,
but the retailer is passing it on to you. I mean,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's like here, the States, they got smart with that credit. Whoever
the fees,
they used cash or credit, but now if you pay credit, it's always more money.
Yeah. So that's that, and I've got my limit is $3,000.
So you can go get a $3,000 item, just take it home, and they're just going to bust it into 4 payments for you, and you're going to start paying.
Which is just like a credit card, though.
It is.
I mean, that's just.
It is, but it's easier, a lot more easier to use, and basically, they are now, because they've realised that it's forcing a lot of people to get financial stress, but they are now doing a credit check before you apply for these things. But we did ours.
They weren't even doing a credit check.
They weren't even doing credit checks. Yeah.
Go ahead, try that out.
How much is your own responsibility? I mean, I should know whether I can afford to to buy something. I shouldn't be, what do you mean? I couldn't just have that $3,000 item.
Right.
You said I could leave with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to have the responsibility to not take the $3,000 item and know that you can afford the $3,000 item.
Yeah. No one thinks that. They just go and do it. And it's caught us out a few times. It really has. And initially, you could only use it for what they say you could use it for. Buying a computer, going to camping stores, all that sort of stuff. Now, a version of that system, if you behave yourself and don't get any late payments, you can get up and use it basically like a debit card. You can pay for groceries, pay for everything like that.
Everything.
Yeah.
Crazy. No, I knew that Australia was doing the push to the central bank money before we were, but that is, like I say, I've always said, that's end game. That's full on. They control, they know, they monitor whatever you're spending. It's going to be known. No more cash. And that's where they want to go. Because Americans are balking cash so much, I've seen a new version where they actually put the chip in the dollar in the bill. So you can still have your cash, but now there's chips in your money.
Be able to track it,
and they can turn it off.
The dollar's not worth the dollar.
Yeah.
Well, the dollar's not worth $1 anyway. So
right?
Go back to
I saw
metals.
that. the latest. I was like, okay, this is just, they're just going to find a way. So that's the thing. Like, Americans are like, no, 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 no. We don't want that. We like our life. We like being free. They're like, well, what if we just package it this way for you? Wouldn't you like that better? Oh, did you see that you're under threat now? Right? I mean, you probably just need that thing. That would be better, right? It's going to be safer. You want to keep your kids safe. I mean, that's really important. So, and of course, that's important to all of us. That's how they did all the green initiative. Of course, the planet's important to us. We all live on it. We want to live in a nice place for our kids. And they just use it as a way to tax the heck out of everybody and, blow through communist agendas. So,
just on that, I've had this conversation with Sarah already, but so massive big green push in Australia to have renewables, all that sort of stuff. The Australian government have actually passed it that there will be no petrol news sales of petrol cars by 2030. It's all be electric, and they're ripping down ripping down trees, putting wind turbines on ridges, taking down all the trees and stuff like that. But if you want to tear something down and put a house up, no, you can't do that.
You got to protect the tree.
Got to protect the tree, but they're happy to, acres
and
whole
mountains,
acres.
right? They're leveling off whole mountains
to put wind turbines
to put up wind turbines.
All
and
the
solar
land,
panels.
All the land we've lost to solar panels. There's farming land that we've lost to solar panels.
And so, and they're no longer making any vehicles in Australia anymore. They're importing everything.
Yep. The last one closed, I want to say 5 years ago. So GM, Holden for us, GM closed the last factory.
That's crazy. It's like a floating California out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here's the crazy bit. So we have one refinery left in Australia. One.
Yeah, for oil.
For oil.
So is that what's going to collapse the whole world? Is our world interdependence instead of being self-reliant upon us? Is that why the preparedness community kind of gets so attacked? Because, you're speaking about self-reliance. We don't want self-reliance anymore. We want global reliance.
Yeah. And I can tell you, being from an island nation, it's doesn't take very much at all to shut off the shipping lanes, and we will be basically useless in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
but an island nation, but it's not like it's Cuba,
right?
No,
or
like
Indonesia,
a small
right.
little, the size of one of our states. It's it's a big
it's like
country.
the size of our. If you put Australia on top of the United States, what are we talking about?
I think the United States is a little bit bigger if you include Alaska.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. If we don't include Alaska, we're just talking continental.
Yeah, you put it on top of par and par.
But America's a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah.
The outline.
Yeah.
But not much. I bet not.
It's more about what are your natural resources, right?
Yeah.
Right. And the center of it's
available
pretty.
to you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the opposition government has said that, and if they win the next election, they said that they're going to put nuclear power in. So, however, they made it the current government has made it very, very hard for the new government, which they will win, the new government, to do that because they've stopped the development of a mine in the Northern Territory to get uranium. So it's there's moves and counter moves.
It sounds the same all across the globe. This is a very global agenda. Yeah. And that's obvious at this point. I mean, I wish more people were talking about the options. Literally, I've never been I'm behind Trump. I hope he wins this election. But I've always been kind of standoffish, just because I only talk about things that I'm educated about. I don't like to get it. There's no sense in having a political debate if you're not educated in the topic that you're talking about. But the fact of the matter is, if you're voting for Kamala, you're voting for global governance. I mean, that's what we had with Biden. That's what we're going to have with Kamala. These are not strong leaders. These are not people who are going to, they're half, baked half the time. And it's just not a strong leader who's going to be able to take our country forward into new areas of innovation and exploration that we really need to be going into, so that we can make positive changes instead of walking through our old glick, you know?
Yeah. And it would be really interesting that if hopefully Trump gets up, what Putin would do.
They always get along pretty well.
Yeah.
Right?
He will most
Mutual
likely.
respect.
Yeah, mutual
Yeah.
respect. Right.
So-
I'll back off, you back off. Hopefully.
You'll back off.
It's
He'll
not
back
like
off.
they have to love each other. Just have
No.
to
No.
work things out.
Yeah. Yeah, and
They have issues, they work them out.
we should be able to do that. We've worked together on, space exploration. We've worked together on multiple things. This is all, it's, in my opinion, it's for the military industrial complex because they have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders to make money. Trump shut them down basically for 4 years. They weren't making anything. So whenever the global regime got back into the place where they are, then okay, fire up that old war machine because we have a fiduciary responsibility to our shareholders to make these companies work. And that's their product. So that's what they're going to sell to you. It really always comes down to business and money every time. You just have to follow that trail. See where it leads you.
I still want my nuclear subs.
So how, in my opinion, the only way they're going to roll this out on the American people is with a big enough perceived threat.
Yeah.
So it's got to be civil war. Look at what's happening on your streets, guys. We got to have a military presence. We got to have the surveillance technology up. And to me, I think that's why so many immigrants were allowed in to just drive that stress of the population.
It wasn't just allowed into; they were dispersed.
Yes,
throughout.
Dispersed, placed, flown in, trooped in. I mean, paid to be here. So it's going to be an interesting problem that we have now. I'm not going to get into any of the details there because there has been some horrific stories already coming out about big problems. So I hate to bash on people, but we did the topic of the refugee camps, and we could have easily built some kind of city out in New Mexico that could have been the transitory station for these people if they were really seeking to asylum from their country and whatnot. And it would have given it a staging area like Ellis Island used to be. And we would have been able to integrate people into our society much easier without this stress and this mess. I mean, it's the same way they pulled out of Afghanistan. It's just, bloop, here it is. That's a mess. There, oh, we made another mess. Oh, don't look at that. We're already over here. What are you doing? So, I don't know. I think Brock told me 12 of the last 16 years have been Democratic presidents for the most part, because Bush, was pretty much in line with them. And we're expecting something different to happen if we continue down the same road. I don't know. I don't think so. So.
Just got to get the inflation under control. It's just ridiculous.
Well, that was self-perpetuated as well. Because you're going to own nothing by 2030 and be happy about it. So we got to put stress under.
Yep. So, yeah, giving people these access to these things and then putting them under financial stress where they have to get assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to even get into the policies, the unrealized gains and that kind of taxes is insanity.
How about the unrealized losses?
Right. Yeah. Oh, those don't count.
Can I carry that forward?
Yeah, that doesn't count. No.
Oh, okay.
I love that. I love that angle, Chin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I planned. I think I'm going to lose money on this investment. So, where's my money back for that?
Yeah.
I'm going to realize that on my taxes right now.
Can I deduct that loss from my taxes? Yeah.
If only.
Yeah. Right. That's a great point.
It's like my car's value went down. Can I deduct that loss? I thought it was going to be a collector's item.
Yeah, me too. My Dodge Caravan? Yeah. For sure. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I was going to have it fully restored.
It's a piece of Americana.
Yeah, that's right. Oh. No, that's truth, though. Yeah, I
want to go one way.
Yeah, but not the other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And gee, I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we allow that to happen, they're going to go after the investments next.
Mm.
So, I feel like everybody's like,
That's-
oh, well, I'm safe. I'm in the
wreck.
stock market. Well, guess
Yeah,
what?
that's a wreck. That's just
Yeah,
con people into put money in there so they had money to play with for their own.
right. More gambling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another form of gambling. All right, guys. So we're getting real with you today.
Happy, huh?
Yeah, that was a pretty real conversation. I was just like, if everybody's got to wake up a little bit and be like, no, that's not okay. I don't know. That is not okay. I don't think that I can understand from the international travel point of view. Okay, so we're trying to keep terrorists out. Having to go through 2 checkpoints in Aussie, before you even get out. It was a little crazy because you already did it once.
So they do that to Ellen, right? Who's as far as we know.
Yeah.
As far as we know, she's an upstanding citizen in this global community, right?
Right.
But had she taken a boat into Mexico and then just gone for a little hike across the border, she'd a free ride. Here's some hotel tickets. Here's a bus, airplane.
Not worried about immunizations or any of that.
I'm sure we could have got her a flight into Asheville.
Mm-hmm.
They would have loved,
Springfield? I mean, yeah.
Oh, Sarah's going to be waiting down on the border for me.
Yeah, I was just going to go pick her up. I mean, game on. But
then you would have to caravan with Sarah and the family. Come on. Would you rather get a free airplane ticket up?
Yeah, free airplane ticket.
Come on, you're not thinking.
Money spending card,
But then you're on the government's dime.
Yeah, you feel that way. Thank you, Ellen. That's why we're friends. That's why we're friends.
The government doesn't make a dime.
No.
That's Sarah's dime and my dime and everybody else's dime that got collected into them.
Don't get me started on that. There's a lot of things that's happening in the Australian military right now that I cannot talk about.
The government funds doesn't fund anything.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. All they do, they're just the redistribution hub.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So one of the biggest things, and I can't talk about most of it that's happening, and this is not anything in regards to technology or whatever we're getting, it's personnel-wise, that they are allowing now, because our recruitment is that bad, people with HIV. It's absolutely sickening. Yeah.
Imagine, it's just, you got to trust the people you're with. Situations. Wow. So let's do our part against the surveillance technology. There's a class at Prepper Camp on de-googling phones. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about that. We'll do a show on that one because Chin actually has the info on it. He's just been super busy lately, so I haven't been able to work it out of him. But I'm going to give you a couple months to settle in and get things done. Right? I know you've been crazy.
Every time I talk to you, I'm on a different piece of something. My computer, my phone, my tablet, whatever.
Right? Yeah, no, and I just know,
I don't know
life's
where I'm
been
gonna
busy
be and what I'm going to have in my hand, but I'll try to be on the show.
So we'll talk about, taking care of your phone, doing that kind of stuff. And we got to just be vigilant. We can't be complacent.
It really isn't that hard. And I mean, I've been running a de-Google phone for a while now. It's a little different because there's some, I don't get the bing, it's going to rain in 5 minutes notice anymore, which is kind of cool. But that's all stuff that they here, have a little piece of candy.
Take the goodies.
First one's free.
Yep. Yeah. Take the goodies.
Yep,
and then you take the goodies and you're hooked right in.
But that's off the weather apps, right? You would still get the alerts.
No, because they were tracking your location. They're tracking everything about you.
So that would take away your ability to get the tornado alerts then.
No, I still get the what's that called when the kid's missing? I forget the
Amber Alert.
Yeah. Amber Alerts. Mm-hmm. Well, why would I not?
Tornado Alert runs on the same as the Amber.
Amber,
so you still get that.
It just gets pushed out to all the cell phone
numbers. It does.
Numbers.
Your phone started doing it when you got into Texas, right?
Yes,
right.
Because it just pushes it at you because your phone is in here.
Yes.
So we go off the tower.
I had apps on my other phone, and they did location and it would know if there was. It was awesome because it would say it's gonna rain in 5 minutes or thunder in your area, and I'll be damned if I didn't have rain start in 5 minutes. It was like awesome,
right?
It was way better than the weatherman, But it's all because it was they were tracking your location.
My father-in-law used to say the best weather app was a rock. You just throw it outside. Yeah. If it's dry,
the best
and
weather
sunny.
app is the leaves on a tree because you could see them blowing or they flip over. If they flip over, you see the underside of a tree leaf, you know it's coming.
Right.
There's a bad gust of wind.
And if it gets wet, then it's raining.
It's raining. You're a mess.
Right? Yeah, he was a crack up. So, no, like I say, be vigilant. And how many times are you just talking around your phone and you're like, oh, I was really thinking about blah, 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 blah. For those of you who have Facebook, use Facebook. And now your Facebook just pops up with that stuff.
Oh, man. Do I have a story for you?
Right.
So as soon as I arrived here, my Facebook feed was all American ads. That's crazy.
It just switches over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it knows where you are. It's tracking you.
Yep.
Because even these apps are all feeding to each other too. Like all of Google and YouTube and all that stuff cross-pollinate. They're all sending stuff back and forth.
Right. See, that was the dumbest thing they ever did was annihilating me from Facebook because now they can't track any of that. Like, duh. No, actually having that cord cut, like, I just quit using it. And then you realize, like, I don't need to use it. What's the big deal?
They're still... Yeah, like my phone, I can still do most anything. The biggest thing is the notifications. I don't get a lot of the... But it's nice because I'm not like ding, ding, ding all the time.
Right? I have to turn mine off. I get it's ding, 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 like all the time. I just leave my phone sound off. So I don't
I don't get like... When I get email and stuff, I don't get dinged all the time because I don't like... That notification has to go through Google Play. I would have had to download the app through Google Play.
And so Google's like knowing, you just got an email about this. You just got an email about that. You just got an email about this. Mm-hmm. And if you think they can't survey that stuff, like, All right, we better get into some changing Earth news. I'm just chilling. Ding. I know. I'm just chilling.
Play that funky music.
It's coming.
Dream, survive, thrive. This is Changing Earth News.
All right, Changing Earth News. So today is September 15th, 2025. We have a major X-class flare that went off the sun yesterday, X4.5. It was just a short duration flare. Jump on your YouTube and check it out, though, because it was really cool to see. It will just be a glancing blow that's going to hit us on Monday. But because it was so large, it's still like kind of worrisome. One of the comments was, even a semi hurts at a glancing blow, right? So minor disruptions are expected from this storm. Some of the systems might go down. They were, for example, AT&T, some of the gaming systems, Discord, stuff like that. That's on the more sensitive side.
How about banks?
I think we're going to be okay there. It's not like a deep-rooted internet problem, as long as all that system stays right. I mean, that's the forecast of it. People are going to tell you different things, but Ben from Suspicious Observers, he's not one to blow it up as far as like, oh, this is going to be horrible or whatever, right? So I think he's looking at it pretty realistically, but it was a major event. What's called the Emerald Spire. It was huge compared to what it normally is. So that was pretty crazy to see. We have wildfires out west. Situation was not improving as of very early this morning when I was doing my research about 1 o'clock. And so that situation, it did get better as today went on. They're having some cooling out there, so that's a good thing. And then we had Hurricane Francine run into Louisiana, but you guys have one sitting right off the coast of the Carolinas right now as well. So it's going to be heads up on that one. Okay, September 9th, 2024, we had 351 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.5 in the Central Eastern Pacific Rise. Ring of Fire was really active. Central Asia was really active with earthquake activity. And there was a 5.3 near Wewak, Papua New Guinea. And then I've been getting all of my language corrected by Ellen today for that area, which I appreciate because I have no idea.
But we don't fall down?
No, we walk. Yep. And I'm sure I slaughter it. So sorry to everybody out there slaughtering your countries. Go ahead and leave me a message about it, though. I'm fine with that. In Uganda, this one's going to be really bad. The Naiwamba River flooded, claiming 2 lives in Kasese. It's a big flooding problem going on down there. Severe flooding also in India. This is their normal monsoon times, but it's been significantly worse this year. Multiple districts affected there. The Boyles Fire in Northern California burned down 30 structures on the 9th. And the Bolivian wildfires, we are talking 3.8 million hectares of rainforest now gone off the face of the earth. It's a really, really devastational disaster that's going on down there. And the 3.8 million hectares figures out to about almost 9 million acres. So that is really, really sad. I've seen some big fires in California, and I have no idea still what 9 million acres would look like. Fuego volcano erupted, causing an earthquake from that activity. Volcano activity is still crazy, guys. September 10th, there was 327 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.7 in the South Atlantic Oceans near Chin's favorite.
Oh, South Sandwich.
South Sandwich finally up there on the list. Typhoon Yagi. This is over hitting Lower Asia. It is hitting Vietnam. It is hitting Myanmar. It's hitting Thailand. It is doing some big time damage. 200 people at least dead in Vietnam. It hit Myanmar today. What was my mom saying? Like 900 people there. I didn't write that note down, but it was like 900.
Died in the flooding.
Mm-hmm.
Just flooding itself.
And landslides. That cyclone is doing some mega damage over there. Central Florida also experienced heavy flooding. Tuscany, Italy was hit with a hailstorm, 120 mile an hour winds. Oregon is struggling to tackle over 20 active wildfires in their state. September 11th, 2024, 347 earthquakes are 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 6.3 in the Bismarck Sea near Papua New Guinea. 2 earthquakes near Albuquerque, New Mexico. They were upwards of a 2.5, so that's pretty big for New Mexico. I saw there was more activity in Texas today. Francine made landfall in Louisiana as an official hurricane down there, did some widespread damage. Not nearly as bad as some of the ones we've seen in the past, though. It didn't go up to like a 5 or anything like that. On September 12th of 24, there was 338 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.2 in the North Pacific Ocean near Japan. A 5.8 earthquake hit Pakistan. The tremors were felt all the way to India. Both the bridge fire and the airport fires are prompted the emergency declaration in the state of California with over 100,000 acres burned. The line fire is also burning in that same area. And then Ohio is having droughts in the south affecting their pumpkin crops there. So that might affect some prices of pumpkins at Halloween time. September 13th, 2024, 363 earthquakes are 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.7 in the Philippine Sea near Japan. There's a 4.7 earthquake that shook LA. That is the 14th 4.0 or bigger this year. That is the most since 1988, which is when they had a really big earthquake that took down the Bay Bridge.
Was that the... Oh.
I think that was...
Was that road? Remember that that raised, elevated roadway?
Yeah,
That
it had 2 levels.
Yep, that's the Bay Area Bridge. Yeah, and that one took it. That was a big disaster. So there was the one that hit on Super Bowl Sunday too. That did like some damage to the. Or I don't know if it was Super Bowl Sunday, but it was stadium
baseball.
Oh yeah, the World Series, right?
Yeah, the World Series.
Okay, I knew it was a big event. So that would happen, but so that's kind of some interesting activity. It's really not slowing down. It just keeps shifting. It's centered in Middle America, and then it shifts down to South America like it did today, and then it'll shoot up to North America and shift down to South America. So it's interesting. We're just going to keep our eyes on that. In the Philippines, Mount Canlone, I'm sure I kill it, erupts after 337 earthquakes in 24 hours. So that one was definitely making some noise before she went. Francine left Louisiana. Lots of flood cleanup going on there. Thailand got hit by Yagi. Landslide concerns, big time. They've been getting just soaked over there. Indiana farmers are desperate for rain as their drought is worsening. So that one little swath through there. And it's weird because we've been getting so much rain in other areas, and then some areas are just left without. 300 or on September 14th of 2024, there was 321 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.3 in the Philippine Sea near Guam. There was a 3.4 earthquake that hit San Jose in California, and there was a 4.1 earthquake in Texas. There's major flooding concerns over the Czech-Polish border. So if you haven't seen this story, Central Europe is just getting hammered by severe flooding. I think their death toll is up to 7, but it is across France, Austria, Germany, and then moving over into Poland and the Czech Republic. So that is a unfolding situation. It got worse actually today, and there's more rain expected to come this week. So it's not going to get better anytime soon. In Nigeria, the situation also grew worse. We've been talking about the flooding that's been going on there for a couple weeks. 1 million people are now displaced after a dam collapsed due to all the rain. 2 million people affected by the flooding there. In Zimbabwe, quite a different story. So we're talking Northern Africa, Southern Africa. They are having severe drought, which is affecting water levels in their lakes, which they rely upon for fishing and things like that. And it's causing a lot of widespread malnutrition. Today, the 15th, most of the activity as far as earthquakes was in Middle America and South America, but it's also interesting because there's normally activity in Central Asia, which is normal, but it actually started just slashing down into Southern Asia as well. And that could be because Yagi came through there, but it was a significant line down. And then also from, say it proper for me,
Vanuatu.
There you go. From it doesn't even it's not spelled that way. From Vanuatu all the way up the Ring of Fire, all the way up into Russia. So it was just interesting activity that I don't normally see, and pretty heavy. 478 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger. I mean, so we had that X-class activity. Boom. Instant uptick in earthquake activity. There's a 5.5 earthquake in Indonesia. That's our big dog for the day. 4.5 at Kilauea in Hawaii. And then the Central European flooding just growing worse and worse. Okay, so we were up last week with our volcano numbers. Never seen 35 before in all the years that I've been recording numbers. And we're still there this week. We actually went up 1 for unrest and the same for minor activity. So they added another volcano to the list this week. It just keeps growing, it seems. So we're at 92 now. Definitely going to keep my eyes on the volcano numbers because that's insane. I've just never seen that many before ever. And, the big explanation is that we have this alignment of our gas giants coming up October 24th. There's going to be a time when the Earth is the only thing that's on the one side of the sun and everything else is aligned on the other. So we'll see. I don't know. There's been lots of things that come down the pipeline. We'll just keep an eye on it. Interesting theory to watch. In the United States for wildfire, our preparedness level is at a 5. There are 62 fires. 3 of them are new. 2,485,000 acres on fire. 6 of those fires are contained at this time. Number 1 state on fire is California with 8 fires. 574,000 acres burning. 1 of those fires is contained at this time. I've seen California numbers alone in the millions, though, so it's still a pretty decent year for them, I'd say. Number 2 on the list is Idaho. They have 22 fires actively burning, 430,000 acres on fire. No new fires. None of them are contained. Number 3 state is Oregon. 22 fires also burning in Oregon for a total of 372,000 acres. No new fires. None of those are contained. Wyoming is number 4 on the list with 4 active fires for a total of 68,000 acres. There are 2 new fires, but 1 of those is contained. So they're making headway, and hopefully they're getting a lot of cool weather this week, which should help those firefighters get those fires out. So, alrighty. So that's the Change in Earth news. The volcanoes, man. I can't believe it.
Crazy.
I just saw a notice that the west coast of Canada just had a 6.6.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Like just got that notice right now?
Yeah, since we started the show.
Crazy. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like bouncing between South America, then boom, back up to North America, and like day by day. Sometimes it's South America happening, and sometimes it's up on the North America. Middle America has just been getting wild. I don't know. They've had constant activity. The same thing happens on the Ring of Fire by Australia. It goes from Vanuatu up to Russia, but sometimes it doesn't go all the way down. It just stops in Indonesia. So we have the activity there, and then it'll bounce. So, crazy stuff.
We have New Zealand.
Looks like it was the Queen Charlotte Sound.
New Zealand got rocked today, too. And the Queen Charlotte Sound, so is it... Yeah. I wonder if that's up further north.
British Columbia. Yeah, it's north of Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would, from what I've seen, I would be watching the Cascadia fault line right now.
Yeah.
Because that energy usually comes down into there or towards Yellowstone, and then it comes down around the North American Craton. So, interesting.
Breaking
news. You heard it first here.
It'll make next week's list.
Yeah, exactly. It will be on next week's list. All right, guys. Well, Chin, thank you very much for coming. I know you're so busy, so I always appreciate it.
Actually, I enjoy sitting down.
There you go. You get a break.
Taking a break.
Chit-chat with friends.
That's right.
Ellen, thank you very much for coming to visit, coming on the show.
Even though I made this mistake and came a week early.
Oh, she's got to hang out with me for like a whole week now. So.
Yeah. But I'll be on next weekend.
We'll be working.
Yeah.
So, alrighty, guys. Head on over to changeingearthseries.com if you want to find out about the audio drama, the social medias I am on, the YouTube channel, any of the goodies. Changeingearthseries.com. All the new covers. They look beautiful. So head on over there. Check it out. New merch. The merchandise is really, really cool. Great quality shirts. So check that out. And until next time, remember, dream,
survive,
thrive.
Thank you for joining Sarah and Chen for this episode of the Changing Earth podcast. Don't forget to pick up your copy of Day After Disaster, Without Land, The Walls of Freedom, Battle for the South, Dark Days in Denver, and The Endless Night at www.authorSarahFHathaway.com. If you love the Changing Earth series and podcast, become a supporter while you're there.